Everything you've been taught about staying lean might be incomplete. You've heard the classic formula, eat less, train more, have willpower. But in 2005, researchers at the Mayo Clinic put movement sensors on lean people and people with excess weight living their normal day-to-day, no new diet, no gym. The difference between the two groups wasn't in training. It was in 152 minutes a day that nobody notices spending. The villain here isn't laziness. It's comfort, chairs, elevators, air conditioning, artificial light late into the night, one by one, switching off signals the human body used for hundreds of thousands of years to regulate its own weight on its own, with no spreadsheet and no calorie counting. Over the next few minutes, you're going to learn 7 ancestral habits that reactivate that system. None of them involve stepping on a treadmill. And the 7th is what the most recent science points to as the most overlooked of all. To understand this, imagine your body's metabolism as an orchestra. There's the string section, your muscles and everyday movement. There are the winds, the rhythm of your sleep, and the light you get. There's the percussion keeping time, the hours when you eat. When every section plays in the right tempo, your body knows exactly how much to store and how much to burn. It does this on its own, without you thinking about it. The problem is modern life moved the conductor out of place. Artificial light until midnight, meals at any hour, a body sitting still all day, every section playing a different tempo. The result isn't an orchestra, it's noise. And faced with noise, the body does what it has always done in the face of uncertainty. It stores energy just in case. These 7 habits aren't about willpower. They're about handing the tempo back to the orchestra. It's not about working out. It's about what your body does in the gaps between tasks. Scientists call this NEAT, the energy you burn standing up, walking to the kitchen, shifting around in your chair. That's exactly what Mayo Clinic researchers measured in that study published in the journal Science. Lean people spent, on average, 152 more minutes a day standing or moving than people with excess weight, without noticing it, without planning it. Extrapolated across a full day, that represents an estimated difference of up to 350 calories. Why does this change the game? Because your body can't tell the difference between 20 minutes at the gym and 20 minutes of cleaning, carrying groceries, or playing with the dog. To your body, it's calories burned, period. It's not about working out more, it's about not staying still. Take one phone call standing up instead of sitting down, take out the trash, walk the dog, carry the groceries on foot. These are minutes that add up without asking for your free time. Your body has a second type of fat, brown fat, that doesn't store energy. It burns energy to generate heat. This is called non-shivering thermogenesis. Research published in the journal PNAS shows that brief cold exposure activates this tissue and measurably increases energy expenditure. The exact magnitude varies a lot from person to person, depending on how much brown fat each person has. But here's the problem. Modern life has eliminated almost every temperature stimulus. Air conditioning in summer, heating in winter, layered clothing all year round. The body never has to generate its own heat anymore. This entire system sits, in practice, switched off from disuse. This isn't about extreme cold showers. It's about reintroducing a variation the human body has always had. End your shower with 30 seconds of cold water. Sleep with your room a little cooler than usual. In Okinawa, Japan, one of the regions with the most centenarians in the world, there's a phrase said before every meal, hara hachibu. It means stopping when your stomach is 80% full, not 100%. Researchers who studied the traditional Okinawan diet estimate that, before westernization, the local population consumed 10 to 15% fewer calories than the calculated standard, while maintaining excellent nutritional status. And it gets even more surprising. Your brain takes about 20 minutes to register that your stomach is full. That means when you feel like you've hit 80%, your body is probably already at 100%. The signal just hasn't arrived yet. It's not about eating less through willpower. It's about giving the signal your body is already sending enough time to arrive. Eat without a screen, no phone, no TV. Put your fork down between bites. Stop at the first moment hunger turns into satisfaction, not at the moment of being full. Your body processes the exact same food differently depending on the time of day. This is regulated by your circadian rhythm, the same system that controls your sleep. Researchers at the Salk Institute, led by Sachin Panda, found that the average American today eats within a window of nearly 15 hours a day, from breakfast to a late-night snack in front of the TV. Ancestral populations, without artificial light, ate within a naturally shorter window, dictated by sunlight. This changes everything. In another study, people with altered metabolic syndrome markers who narrowed their eating window to around 10 hours a day, without counting calories, without cutting any specific food, showed improvement in those markers after a few months. It's not about fasting, it's about timing. It's not about skipping meals. It's about concentrating your meals within a more consistent window, finishing eating 2 to 3 hours before bed, if possible. When you eat, your blood sugar rises. That's normal. The problem is the size of the spike and how fast it drops afterward. A study published in 2025 in Scientific Reports compared people who walked for 10 minutes right after eating with people who stayed seated. Those who walked had visibly lower glucose spikes. Moving muscle pulls glucose out of the bloodstream without needing to wait for the normal insulin process. Let me show you what's really happening. It's not your total steps for the day that matter most here. It's specifically the 10 to 15 minutes after your biggest meal. That specific window is where your body needs the help the most. After lunch or your heaviest dinner, walk for 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be fast. It needs to be right after. Your gut has trillions of bacteria, and they prefer different food than the food you tend to repeat every day. In 2018, the American Gut Project analyzed the microbiome of more than 10,000 people and found a clear pattern. People who ate 30 or more different types of plants a week had a far more diverse microbiome than people who ate 10 or fewer. Here's a detail nobody mentions. The ancestral diet wasn't rich in one specific superfood. It was rich in variety, dozens of different plants throughout the year, not the same 5 vegetables repeating day after day. Don't switch everything at once. Add 1 new plant a week, an herb, a seed, a legume you've never cooked before. In 2 months, your grocery list will already look completely different. This is the habit that changes how y'all think about the other 6. All the previous habits can be perfect and still not work properly if this last piece is out of place. Researchers at Yale measured the cortisol levels of lean women over 3 consecutive days and found something curious. Those with a more intense stress response accumulated more abdominal fat, even without excess body weight, even with similar diets to the others. And this is where it flips upside down. Chronic cortisol doesn't just affect appetite, making you crave more calorie-dense food. It literally changes where your body decides to store fat. Ancestral meals were almost never solitary, rushed, or in front of a screen. They were social, and because of that, slower. The body digests in a completely different way in a calm state than in an alert state. It's not just about what you eat. It's about the state your body is in when you eat. Pick 1 meal a day to eat without a screen, ideally with someone else, even if it's just breakfast. Before wrapping up, an important note: none of this replaces medical guidance. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, have diabetes or any condition that affects blood sugar, have a history of an eating disorder, kidney or liver issues, or take any ongoing medication, talk to your doctor before changing your meal timing or eating pattern. These habits are about general body function, not about treating, reversing, or preventing any disease. If you already follow medical guidance for weight management or any other condition, keep following it. What's been said here is complementary, never a substitute. You don't need to start all 7 tomorrow morning. That's the surest recipe for giving up on all of them within a week. Pick 2 for this week: 1 movement habit, 1 eating habit. After 10 days, once the first 2 are automatic, add a 3rd. Ignore the rest until then. No ancestral population ever learned 7 new things at once. They repeated a few things every day for years. Your body's orchestra doesn't need a perfect conductor. It just needs to stop playing against its own rhythm. If this video helped you see this differently, hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel keep bringing real science with no empty promises. Now tell me in the comments, of these 7 habits, which one are you already doing without realizing it, and which one had you never even heard of? And if you want to understand why 1 bad night's sleep switches this entire system off at once, the next video is about exactly that.